Hello and welcome to American Truck Simulator with me, Kim Sawyer. Hope you guys are well and enjoying your day, whatever you're up to. And today I'm bringing you another mod truck, and it's called Kraz 260-2446 slash 64431. Again, guys and girls, the link for this truck will be in the description down below, so if you want to play with this truck for yourself, you can. Look, I'm going to go through the good and the bad, the ugly with this thing, like I do with every mod I do. It's got a few little, like I say, it's quite not a bad truck. There are flaws, like on any other truck I've done, but I'd probably drive it quite often. Having a little go just driving it around the block, I've not come across any issues with it. It hasn't crashed my game or anything, but just because it hasn't crashed my game doesn't mean it might not conflict with any mods you have, so please bear that in mind. But anyway, let's have a look round. The only things I will say, I think it is a port over from ETS2, just from the textures, and I did see that it's got credits to that effect, so you might find the textures are a bit on the dull side or whatever, not as shiny and clean as ATS should be, but there you go. That is the problems of this. I say it's got fairly good detail around the cab. The lights do work. Let me just turn the parking brake off. Those seem to be on all the time. I don't know if that's because I've got my sides on or what. They seem to be glowing all the time. I don't know why. That could be something which needs looking at. Let's turn the ignition on. Those work. Those work. Yeah, hazards work, both on the back and on the front. If I turn to the sides, bring up those two little side marker lights there. That brings up the full load of lights. And beacons, let's see if they actually work. Yeah, the beacons work. Which is pretty cool. Let's turn those beacons off. I'll show you where you can get it in the once you've downloaded it, installed it. I'll go to truck dealers. You'll find it in the Kenny shop, and I've just bought it from the Kenworth dealer. I'll show you where you buy it on. If I select that and buy it online, hopefully this won't prove me wrong and crash my game again. There we go. Right. I'll show you customize. Right, there are two different truck types in the game. You'll see them both. You'll see this one, and there should be another type. This one here. And if I show you that one as well, there are variances between the two. I think this one stands slightly higher, and it has this guard on the back, so the only reason I didn't go for that one, again, because I learnt from my previous mod showcase, the higher they sit, the less likely they are to sit underneath a trailer or whatever. So you guys and girls will have to try it for yourselves and see if it works with trailer attacher or not. But you got a fair amount of different options. If I go through them, you can change it to a day cab. It is not English, as you can see, so working out what it means is a bit of a mystery. But then you see that with a tyre holder in it, and then a spare on the back. Or you can go back to day cab or sleeper / sleeper. There's only one chassis available. There's only 3 engines available, and as you can see, the modder did mention that the default is very low, so you have to play about with the engine types and see what goes best with what. He's got some gearboxes in here. Looks like a 5-speed, 8-speed, and a 10-speed. It still gives you option for 13-speed there, which is good. Doesn't lock you into that. 1 cab only. Colours you can change. Again, because it's a matte finished, it's just a. I try and bring it to a lighter colour. You can see it's quite, it's not a bad little mod. Again, it's a bit hit and miss with the selection, but you can select different types of bull bar if you wish. Different types of wheel you can change. Again, if you change the wheel, it does do some stuff on there, so you can get this Goodyear. It does lower it, I guess, and then it blanks out because you're using standard in-game stuff. So again, you might get that problem. If you try and use in-game sort of like stuff, it doesn't do both axles, as you can see. Well, it does actually. Sorry, my bad. And the only way you can potentially get around that again is by selecting a default wheel. It doesn't look good. I suspect it probably looked better on the smaller truck. We'll try that in a second. What does this do? That removes. It gives you a different option on the hood. I think that changes something inside. We'll have to have a look, because again, these aren't immediately obvious. I don't know what that's done again. It's probably done something on the inside. That looks like it changes the wing mirrors. Yeah, that changes the door handle. There's a few little options on here to customize it how you want. This has got a slightly different option on the back, I've just noticed, where the other one didn't have this option where you can change out the chassis type. So you can change it to that. You can have that. You can have that. You can have that. You can have that. It's like some sort of trailer hitch of some sort. Right, the roof. What's on this one here? Yeah. This again was a bit difficult, but you can have it selected to whatever. The small one only lets you have this one or whatever. So there is slight differences in the chassis. Admittedly, this is obviously slightly larger, so it's going to give you slightly larger options. You can choose to have the wind deflector or not. What does this do? That gives you flags. You've got loads of different flags on here. Quite a few vast. This is the first ever one I've seen that's got a Union Jack on it. Most of them are just like Germany or other places, but this has got a Union Jack on it. I don't know if it's got all the countries on here, but it's got a fair selection. You see you've got Scotland there as well, so I think you might like this one. So you can stick that on there if you really wanted to. It's also got UK, so I've selected the UK on my other rig. Just have to, it's got Union Jack one. Didn't even realise it had that one. There is an England one as well, which I've got at the moment. If I'd known that, I'd have selected that one instead of my other one. Could always go to the parts shop and buy it, I guess, but either way, yeah, this one brings your selection of different horns on it. I think this one, I don't know what that one does. I can't see what that actually does. Does it, not immediately obvious what that one does, but that one, it could be because this is in the way. I'm going to try and take that off actually, see if that is the problem. Can I take that off? Yeah. And then go select this one again, see what that actually does. Not immediately obvious what that does, that one. Don't know where it's like got nothing at all, or one light there, two lights like that, well, one light with a clip by the looks of it, one light with a clip on that one, or two lights like that. In here it's going inside the cab. Again, the cab's not too bad detail wise. As you can see, it looks pretty good in here. You'll see in my game once I start driving, it looks a bit dark in certain aspects, but I don't know if that's because of the window selection I may have selected or what, or it's just because of the time of day. But you got different, you can have like a darkened window, a light window, a smashed window, or just standard windows with a little visor, but it's like a little sun visor on it. Then you can either have it so it's got both those sun visors up, both those sun visors down, one down, or passenger down. It's up to you again. Oh yeah, if you've got the extension, you can extend onto that as well. That brings up GPS if you want it there. You can also put GPS here if you really wanted as well. That's the mirrors again. Don't know what that one does. Oh yeah, CB. And then you can hang another ornament on there if you really wanted to. Again, paint. Here you've got door side options. You can have the speaker like that, or the speaker like that. Here you can have a bag if you wish, or a computer. Again, personal preference. Down here, again, you can have the CD player if you really wanted to. This lower one, you can either have it as without the cooler in there, or have the cooler in there. It looks like a cooler sitting in the back there. Oh no, it's a subwoofer. So that's a subwoofer. So what does this do? Oh yeah, that's the back bit, isn't it? Again, yeah, it's the back bit on the back. This one you can have sort of like cover on here, or duvet, I suspect. You know, it's got a few little options there. Nothing, you can't do anything with the steering wheel, unfortunately, because I think this is, like I said, it's a port over from ETS, an early one at that. But there's a few little customizable options on there. Let's leave the shop quickly. Let's choose that smaller one. This is the one I've actually chose, and I'll show you again the differences. See, yeah, there was no selection on the back for this smaller one. You can just change out the wheels if you want. Again, the wheels are customizable on both. They do have little differences in both models, so it's best to play about with both of them, see which one really takes your fancy, really. To say this one sits a bit lower, so this is the reason I went for this one. Again, you get similar differences, little differences. Like you see, got this one's only got the one can option. Lights and everything else pretty much the same. But anyway, let's leave this one. Yes. Let's leave out that. Let's leave out that. Right. Flag motion's very good, actually. It is very good because it's, I don't know if it's based off of the ATS Heavy Haul DLC or what, but it does actually move, and it you know, as the wind picks up, as you can see, look, it moves about. It's pretty cool. I quite like that. It's quite a nice little touch. Normally they're just static. They're moving all the time. But anyway, I'm going to do... See, that's the only thing, really, I don't know what... If that's just the mod or whatever, or it's just the light reflecting off those back lights. I don't know. I've not chosen the best colour, admittedly. But anyway, let's fire it up so you guys can hear it. Only one horn. You have to use the generic key for that as well, not air horn. Let's shut it off. And I'll go inside and fire it up again. The only thing I would say is a slight bit of overlay in the engine idling, and that when you first fire it up, I don't know if you guys hear it. I'll just go and shut it off again. So you can hear it already idling, but yeah, the engines, you hear that like rev bleep of the engine. I know from what I've been told, it can be tricky to try and put them into sequence without a gap or whatever. Again, it's one of those small things you can live. If you can live with it, you can live with it. Right. Anyway, let's pick up this job. I finally got the standard in-game update. I'd get rid of quite a few different mods to get it to work. Now, how am I going to tackle this? I have to use cheat cam, sorry guys. Turn on hazards. Gives you a good look at the truck anyway. And the flag animation works in reverse as well. It's quite good. Again, like I say, I haven't tested this with advanced couple. So you will have to test it for yourselves, guys. As I can see, it already clips with that trailer, which is not a good thing. So I can probably think it probably won't work. But do try it for yourselves and let me know. Right, it's coupled. Let's put the brake on. Ah, here we go. The lights have stopped glowing now. It was the sun reflecting off them. Yeah, so yeah, it was just the sun reflecting off it. There is a kind of weird glare going on with it, admittedly. But anyway, let's hitch it up. I don't know if it will work with, because seeing it glitch through that trailer there, I think it's not going to work. But you could, again, guys, you have to check it out for yourselves. Right, let's fire it up. I do like that turbo spool noise though. The gear selection, if I bring... Not that one up. Not that one. Oops, no, not that one. No, not that one. No, that's the one I wanted. Now, as you can see, I'm selecting between... It doesn't always make that noise. It's a bit sporadic. Again, you could improve on that. But anyway, let's do a tug test. So put both the trailer brake and parking brake on. Pass the tug test. Can I get out of this yard without too many issues? Probably not. we see a problem there. Yeah, I can see it probably smacking up against the other trailer. Oh, it did come pull. Yeah, that's a problem. This game, they haven't made these yards big enough for these trailers. I could have probably pulled out there a bit more, but admittedly. I've noticed you can't. It's pretty difficult to float the box on this. I did try it initially, but it was a bit hit and miss. So I will try it once I get into the higher range, or once we get onto the main road. It did float then. You do have to give it a fair amount of beans though. Doesn't have a Jake, I tested that unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame, but what can you do? I don't know if these things ever had a Jake or not. I don't think these did, because these are primarily made in Russia. Right on red, we do have to stop. I do quite like driving this thing actually. Okay, the textures are a bit matty, but it's got its quirks, but I'd enjoy driving it. Didn't quite get the float then, I think that might have been me. Certainly got some grunt to it. We're already over 60. We're not even in high top gear yet. Need to slow down a little bit on these corners. Does handle quite well. It's responsive. It's not overly twitchy either, so. I've got it slightly sat back though, because if you look at my bench seat, I should be a bit further forward. That would be the natural place to be. Ooh, doesn't help when I'm tugging on the wheel. But that's where you need to be, ideally. That's the position you need to be in. But I prefer to be sitting back, so. But at least this bench seat is low enough, so if you do put it back, it won't obstruct your view, like some of the truck mods I've been on. See what I mean by it's a bit sporadic when it makes that noise? Changes, but I do like it. Probably get quite old after a while anyway, so. And it might be something he improves upon at a later date. Again, I can't pronounce the modder's name because it's not English, so I won't even apologise to the modern advance. I won't even attempt to butcher his name. Traffic's doing a bit of a brake check. I'm already doing plus 70, I think. This is only 6. So you could probably get away with 10 speed on this engine. That is the top gear, and I've got it on 13 speed. I selected 13. I'm sure I did. Oh, it'd be an 18 speed box, wouldn't it be? It does get a little bit twitchy when you're braking though. It could be these trailers pushing against it. The mirrors could do some work as well. That's the best angle I can get on them. Got a relatively short run, so I'm hoping we'll get this run done in this episode. We'll do some external shots in it, which is always a bit of a disaster waiting to happen, especially mile driving. Probably a bit too premature the change there, but I think it's got the grunt to go through. It's a little bit, mind you, it could be because you can see the amount of physics they've put into this. Mind you, I am going best part of 80, so it would be a bit twitchy. Anything above 60, my truck's a bit risky, I should say. Probably it wasn't too bad below sort of like 60. It was quite solid. But it is responsive, it's the main thing. Just have to be a bit gentle. I don't really do gentle. Yeah, that's definitely top gear on that. It certainly goes well. As you can see, I'm already well in excess of the speed limit already. So I'll slow down a bit and put the cruise control on. Waiting for an ideal moment where I can get away with. I could slow this down a bit. Again, I've got the coast to coast mod working. I've got the latest version of that, so this is an interesting one. Driver cab view. Real view. Again, this is difficult. drive like that. Any excuse would do, eh, Kev? Actually, I might use this as an excuse to take a picture for the thumbnail, so let's do that now. I know that annoys some people, but let's see. That's the thing. I don't know whether that's just because of the colour or just because of the texture. It does look a bit dark, but the window looks like really bright light coming out. Looks like someone's got like a floodlight inside the cab. Don't know what's the best angle really. Looks sort of identical both ways. I'll go for that sort of view. Focus in position. Clean that up a bit. Take a picture of the thimble. Should have chosen a lighter colour really, but I'll continue on for a little bit longer. How much? 200 miles left. Don't know if it's... No, I'm not going to pull into that lane. I think stay on this one because I can see that traffic ahead's a bit on the slow side, so reminds you of lead foot strikes again. Pan around. I do like the flag animation on it though. It is pretty realistic because that's what they'll do if you're driving that sort of speed as well. They normally get ripped to shreds, I know, because when I had one once, they only last about a week, 2 weeks, and then you find that because of the, especially if you're like me, you find that this flag just gets ripped to shreds. If you go anything over 50. I don't know why he's coasting behind that rig, mate. If you've got your blues and twos on, you should really be in a hurry, not just cruising behind a truck. Unless he's just running a little bit late for his lunch. Or maybe he's got a casualty in the back where he can't go a certain speed. Again, sorry there hasn't been many ATS videos. I saw this mod and I thought I'd give it a go. I was initially just planning just to drive the old Kenny and do a run on that, but I saw this and it looked pretty good, so I thought I'd give it a try for you guys and show you guys what it's all about. Definitely got to power up the hill. See, it's losing a bit on the hill there, but yep, that was me going too quick. Yeah, it's just a case of I've not been playing much. I've been playing a lot of Long Dark and Car Mechanic, as you guys may be aware. Maybe, oh, not another episode of Long Dark, or not another episode of Car Mechanic. Again, sorry guys, it's a case of just went with the flow. Again, speeding. It was 80 along here. 85. Let it coast for a little while, could take some of the speed out. don't think this naturally has a retarder on it either. There was an option for a retarder in the gearbox selection, just went with that really. Funny thing is, someone mentioned it to me a week or so. A couple of people have actually. One person said, "Oh, are you going grey?" I went, "No, I can't be going grey. Must be just because of the summer. My hair's got a bit lighter." And then someone else mentioned it, and then I said when I was getting my hair cut, a couple of people mentioned it. He goes, "Oh yeah, yeah." Initially he said, "Oh no, I can't see anything," and then he said, "Oh yeah, yeah, I see where it is, right on the side here." I was like, "No, that's what I didn't want to hear." Well, 20 odd years in retail, I guess. It's done that to me. Made me grey before my time. Slow up because I can see myself crashing into the back of this truck. Leave it in that gear because it seems to be alright. It does seem to pull. If it starts struggling in that gear, I'll take it down. I know it's 80 along here, but I thought I'd just chill out behind this other truck in front of me. Yeah, it's beginning to labour. Doesn't seem overly thirsty on fuel either. I've done just over a quarter of a tank doing this mileage, so mind you, it wouldn't surprise me if this was quite thirsty, because this kind of reminds me of spin tyres, this thing does. We saw it's one of the main things on the spin tyres, I think. Oh, there's an ambulance again. A paramedic. Yeah, it's alright when you keep it around about 60. Realistically, this thing will probably only go about 60 anyway. Because these would be restricted to a certain point. You could probably get 70 out of one of these, maybe. But these weren't really meant for going quick, they're meant for pulling heavy loads like logs. More all-terrain vehicles, more of a military, again military-esque. Tend to use a lot of these in the Russian military. I did download the is it the Rubber Duck Mac? I did download it and I have tried it off screen. I was going to do a showcase on it, but I see quite a few other people have done that as well. If you want to see a showcase on it, guys and girls, please let me know. I will endeavour to do that for you. But I figure there's quite a few people have done one. Thought about selecting down then, but I thought as we're hitting that hill, might as well just leave it on that. I think the speed restrictions start to come in, we're at 40. have to use the gearbox to brake by the looks of it. There's no Jake. Come on, get in there, thank you. Come on. Thank you. Now, you're probably wondering, would it be something I'd drive? Like I said earlier, yeah, I think I'd drive this a lot. No, I don't love it as much as my Kenny, but, you know, Kenny's my Kenny. And recently I've done, what, 8,000 miles in that thing, but, you know, that's a different one from the one I started off with, so I've probably done a fair few thousand more since then. I'll be able to take this guy. Going to go slow. There's enough space between me and him. See, it's alright then. This is getting power band right. I've missed playing this game, admittedly. I did a run in the Kenny a few days ago. I was just like, yeah, I've missed playing this game. I was playing Mafia 3. Believe it or not, and I started doing some of the missions, and then I come across, it said Bullworth on it. I can only assume it's their take on a Kenny, but it looked more like a Peterbilt to me. Just the light clusters, the way that they're positioned, just looked more Peterbilt than Kenny to me. But they were both the older Kennys, and like the 521, and there was a Peterbilt. It was very similar. There were subtle differences between the two, but most modern trucks now look pretty identical now. Anyway, I think a lot of them are all owned by the same companies. Like Packard owns both Peterbilt and Kenworth, I believe. No, don't quote me on that. I know they definitely own Kenworth. Pretty sure they own Peterbilt. Could be wrong. Is when you get over, saying that we are going quite fast, over 80 again. Anything above 60 on any trucks, just asking them for trouble. It's not overly twitchy, just a little bit on the twitchy side. I haven't got my music on. I must remember, forgot to put my music on. Just remembered that. It's like, it's quiet, I can't hear music. And then remembered I didn't put it on. Numpty Kev. I've got long to go. So it's a bit over, a bit an extra long one. Mind you, haven't done an extra, I haven't done an episode on this in a while, so. I need to be in other lane. You gonna let me out, mister? That'll be a no. Near him, he's behind us somewhere, I suspect. Go on, mister. Cross, otherwise we're going to get stuck behind a light. Yep. I knew that was coming. He'd go across that light, and he doesn't get nicked for it, but I bet if I did, I'd get a fine straight off the bat. It's up front, there it is, that's the fire truck. It's clocked it. Go on, mate, I'll let you go out first. It's been a long time since I've actually completed a run on this as well. I've always liked, for entertainment purposes, try to make it a short run. Or I think I've got my seat a bit too high though. A little bit. I'll probably go down a little bit. Glad those lights didn't change. I think we need to be on the other side of the road though, so I'm going to pull over to that side. Speeding again, nothing new, lead foot strikes again. In here. Oh, this is going to be fun. Not. Because I can't select my parking. Might have to quickly come in and change that to easy because... Oh, it's not... Yeah, it's going to be an issue. I can see that being an issue straight away. Why did they allow these long trailers allowed in here? Didn't make this run at all easy on myself. I see this going wrong. It's right, mate, you just... Ooh. I think that was a front end smacking into something. He's like, oh, I could have... You know. I knew he was going to do that. Have to curb it on here. I hope it doesn't shouldn't do this, guys and girls. Well, that's as good as it's going to get. I know it was a bit rough and ready my parking technique, but at least we got it roughly in the box. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Let's detach the trailer. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode in the mod showcase. If you did, again, guys and girls, feel free to like. It helps me out a lot. And if you know anyone else that may also enjoy watching this, again, guys and girls, feel free to share. It helps me out a lot, and I don't mind you guys and girls sharing. And if you're new to my channel and receive future episodes of this or anything else I'm working on, please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. TTFN.